What has been responsible for this 5 game winning streak from the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, before I get started on that, I want to make a huge shout out to my little brother, my brother Max. He is a diehard Dolphins fan since pretty much the day he picked up a football. And we're from New York, so you can imagine us moving to Florida. He was happy as a pig and shit. Very weird metaphor, I know, but I always say it. Because the Dolphins are just always on TV. So he kind of called it when Miami fell into that weird stage of 1-7 or 2-7, whichever it was. I just can't do math. And he was like, "Listen, we have the potential, we have the personnel, we have the coaching. We just need to find a way to get this defense back in order." And I was actually telling Kyle that my brother kind of called it earlier in the year that he said once the defense turns it around, Tua will find a way to manage the clock. He may not dazzle you with crazy throws on the field, but he is a perfect game manager, and he actually, believe it or not, leads the NFL in completion percentage. I did not know that at all coming into today. So answering the question is going to be Miami's defense. Kyle gave me the numbers, and I'm actually just going to pull it up once again right now. If I'm not mistaken, Miami has been able to hold a lot of teams over the last 5 games under 20 points. Starting it off, they played the Texans. They won 17-9. They then played the Ravens 22-10. They played the Jets 24-17. They played the Panthers 33-10. And then today, they played the Giants 20-9. So I stand by what I said. I was right originally. They were able to hold every single opponent under 20 points over this past 5 games, and their offense is doing just enough to really carry them into the winner's circle. Tua's managing the game. He's not turning the ball over. They're able to somewhat kind of run the ball. I mean, I can't even say that they're actually atrocious at running the football. They're one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, Myles Gaskin is maybe average depending on what's going on and depending on the situation. I believe the Dolphins have probably one of the worst offensive lines in terms of creating space for their backfield. But again, even with that depleted backfield and lack of a run game, they are still finding ways to win football games, and huge parts of that defense finding a way to not only create turnovers but get to the quarterback. They were able to sack Mike Glennon 3 times today and create a turnover with an interception. So Miami looks good. They're making a push. Again, the AFC East is another division that is getting a lot closer, and I'm assuming in Kyle, I can't speak for Kyle, but if I was in your shoes, I would not like the fact that everybody in this division is starting to kind of get it together and win, outside of the Jets, of course. But, Miami's kind of, bringing it back. Buffalo is Buffalo, and then you guys are just getting to the top. So I won't sleep on Miami. I'm not going to go out there and say that they're going to make the playoffs, but they are making some noise, and I think that they deserve and earn some respect.
When I look at the Dolphins and as far as this win streak goes, it really comes down to two factors. They're not turning the ball over, and that's because Tua's been one of the more accurate passers that we've seen in the NFL, if not the most accurate passer in the NFL that we've seen this entire year. And like you mentioned, Kev, it's been their defense. Their defense has been able to hold opponents under 20 points, like you mentioned. And when you combine those two factors together, granted, I wouldn't say that the Dolphins look explosive or they look like they're the best team in the NFL with the way that they win these games, but it's effective, it's working, and it's ending in wins. And this is something that, to be honest with you, being a Patriot fan kind of taught me this. What I think the Dolphins have established with Tua is they figured out a win. They figured ways to win, but in a boring manner. And I don't mean that in a bad way. And here's why. A lot of the throws that Tua makes are relatively safe. He's not lighting up NFL defenses or NFL secondaries like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady does. But he is hitting on these effective 5, 10, 15-yard routes. Granted, I know it's not flashy. A lot of these plays are not going to end up on SportsCenter or like they're not going to end up in the top 10. But it's effective. He's able to complete these passes in a consistent manner, and it's leading to points at the end of the day. And that's the only thing that matters. As long as they're not turning the ball over, it's a winning formula. And then when you look at the defense, they're able to get a pass rush, they're able to create turnovers, and they're able to get the other team's offense off the field. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the best thing that you could ask for with a relatively young team. And I think Brian Flores, as the head coach, granted they got off to a shaky start earlier in the year, but I think he's done a phenomenal job of rallying this team together and getting these guys in positions to succeed, and they're capitalizing on that. Granted, they're sitting at 6-7 right now. I think if they had got off to a better start, they could potentially be at like an 8-5 record had they won some of the closer games that they unfortunately lost earlier on in the season. So when I look at the Dolphins, they're definitely a team on the rise. They're definitely a team to be on the lookout. I don't know if they're really going to compete with the Bills and the Patriots just because, both of those teams are at the top of the AFC at this current moment in time. But I don't think people should be sleeping on Miami at this current moment in time. Their defense has been spectacular the last month or so. Tua has been playing effective football, and it's leading to good results. And I think really Brian Flores, he's done a phenomenal job of setting up great game plans for this team to succeed. And I think these players are going out and executing it in a fine manner. So good on Miami. Just had they got off to a better start, they'd be in a better position right now. But they're making the most of it right now. And who knows? We got a month left in the season to go. They could pull off a possible wild card spot if they continue to win these games. I can't rule that out at this current moment in time.